What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Yee Yee podcast episode. We have no idea.
40.
40?
Yes.
We
Second
just
to last.
We just filmed for 10 minutes, and then we realized that it was not recording, so that's how you know that everybody's got what I like to call Christmas brain. Christmas brain is whenever it's like the first few days before Christmas, and everybody's just checked out. So we're going to record this podcast. When is this dropping?
3 days before Christmas.
Oh, perfect.
Wednesday the 23rd. 2 days.
So this will be a perfect podcast if your family's over and you're trying to have a getaway. You can just listen to this for a little bit. Brian is currently on hold with United Airlines. Play the office music for the listeners. We were just talking about they should do something else with the office music is the worst, and we all judge a company based on what office music they use. What was your idea, Ben?
They just need to do callbacks. Like some companies do it where you can they give you the option to just hang up and they'll hold your place in line. So they just need to do that for everyone.
I had the idea it'd be cool if they did like stand-up comedy.
Oh, that's good.
Instead of just listening to music, if it was just like a comedian stand-up comedy.
Then you may offend someone, though, because comedy's just offensive nowadays.
Oh, that's so true. You should at least have an option. Like you click 2 for
that's a good idea.
Or 3 for whatever.
You get PG, PG-13, and R.
Yeah.
It's just R's just Dave Chappelle being really offensive.
PG for United is just like, so how about that airline
Yeah, they're
food?
just making fun of the airlines. So we've got the Christmas party tonight. We're all super excited. I think that's part of the mush brain too, is that we've got the Christmas party tonight, which is always a good time. I was thinking about it earlier, and I wanted to ask Parker, as head of the company, what are some do's and don'ts for Christmas parties? And maybe someone listening at home right now could use this for their Christmas party.
Do have more personal conversation that you wouldn't normally have in the office. Get to know them a little bit more. It's really the thing about a Christmas party is it's not necessarily the conversations you have. It's like seeing employees in a more relaxed atmosphere, and you can kind of tell a lot about someone when there's like alcohol and music in a relaxed environment rather than when it's like suit and tie on a Monday morning. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can see how someone carries themselves in a social setting.
Sure.
So like I would say just carry yourself in a relaxed manner in a social setting. Get to know people. Don't be so nervous that you feel like you have to drink a lot of alcohol and then let that get out of hand. I had a lot of buddies who do that in college.
Speaking of suit and tie, what are you wearing there? What shirt is that?
Your suit and tie. I just realized I'm the only one.
This is the December shirt of the month. Brian, Yee Shirt of the Month Club. We're all members except for Hayden.
Yep.
I'm the only one not wearing it if you're listening to it. So how do people get that shirt? Well, I guess they can't get that shirt, but how do people get exclusive shirts like that?
They
Parker?
honestly missed out.
They did.
Yeah, the last few months have been really good for the Shirt of the Month Club. Yee.com, you'll find it under T-shirts, Shirt of the Month Club. I think there's another tab for it too, or just search it. And you get a new exclusive shirt. We won't sell them anywhere else. And yeah, we have a lot of fun being able to design them because we can do seasonal stuff and not have to worry about
quantities.
Yeah, quantities being left with a bunch. So we just kind of get to have fun with it.
If you use shirt of month code, you get $10 off your first month. And also, if you pay for a year in full, you get 10% off the full year. Whenever this airs, they won't be available. They're only available from the 1st through the 19th of each month. And we do that so we have enough time to order the quantity that we need for the next month. But if you go to that product right now, if you're like, oh, I want to get that whenever it's available on January 1st, you can click on the notify me when available button and you'll get an email as soon as they come back in stock. So highly suggest. We've had a lot of people sign up for that because it's a great Christmas present. Like this month, you just get someone the Shirt of the Month Club, pay for it in full for a year, and you save 10%, and then they get a shirt every single month.
That is a good Christmas present.
Or you could just pay $60 for the shirts on eBay because that's what people do.
Gosh, ridiculous.
They just resell them.
We have a
for
good
double.
shirt coming out in January too. I'm excited about that.
What is it? Well, don't tell them, but
We can't tell them.
can you give me any hints?
No, I can't
Okay.
do that either.
Oh, wait, did you design it?
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Did you pick that
Yeah,
one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Brian helped me.
Brian's done a few designs now.
No, that's the first one.
I'm gonna
Oh.
have to make a design pretty soon.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I
I've
want
never
to.
done one.
I really want to.
We were talking, so I guess we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas, but real quick, I was looking at something, Ben. So you do all of our social media. I was looking the other day, and I feel like the bots on our Instagram love Christmas more than anyone because they are rabid right now. Have you been noticing that on the Instagram?
Yeah, we'll post, and within a minute there will be probably 10 comments, and they all have like 100 likes just automatically. And I mean, some are pretty spirited, I'd say.
It's so funny. I was looking at them the other day. I'm pulling up the Instagram right now. My phone's also on like 3% as always.
Classic.
It's so funny the different type. There will always be they're getting festive. Like Christmas is around the corner, so I invest with @Chuck Zangle because I need to take good care of my family. Chuck sounds like a great guy. So I deposited $5,000 into my Bitcoin wallet and blah 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 blah. And then it's always Bitcoin, it's always cryptocurrency. And then what is also my favorite, which is just lack of effort from these bots, is the ones that are like first 10 people to DM me the word depressed get $5,000. Like, in what world does this work? There's no way. Do you think that people are still falling for this?
I can't imagine, because like you'll see even like little kids, like they'll comment like, look at the bots in this, like, because so if a little kid's getting it,
I mean, but a little kid knows way more about social media than
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
than older people right now.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever have anyone in your family or maybe yourself or whatever back in the day get like malware on your computer from clicking on one of those giveaways?
I got it from LimeWire. if you know
Oh,
what that is.
LimeWire. You
Yeah.
did LimeWire?
Oh yeah.
Really? I thought you were too young for that.
Nope.
I got
Thought
it
you-
from like, do you remember 1, 2, 3 movies? Like if you wanted to watch like a movie for
I do
free.
remember 1, 2, 3 movies.
I got one. It was like an FBI warning. And like I was panicking. I was like, I'm gonna get arrested. I like showed it to my mom because she's like good with computers, and she was like, oh yeah, this is very common. And I was like, okay, good.
I fell for a fake PayPal email one time that said that I needed to re-input my contact information.
Oof.
And it said it was from PayPal and had their logo and everything. And like I'm pretty up to date and like aware. Like I
Mhm.
feel like I have a pretty good radar for that stuff. And I just fell right into it. It like took me to. It looked exactly like their
Mhm.
website. Anyway, I gave them my social security number, everything, my address, and afterwards I realized that it was not real. And I didn't give them like my bank account info or anything. But I did call the credit company and had to like put a freeze on my credit and stuff. I was like, I hope I don't lose my identity. I don't even know what that means, but I feel like it's bad.
There's
You
like
lose your
another
identity.
Parker
Yeah.
Smith running around
Yeah.
somewhere out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody know what that means? If you get your identity
I think
stolen?
my identity's still stolen.
Is that a real thing, or do people just? Is that just something old men say? That can
Identity
happen?
theft is not a joke.
I like the quote.
As
There
they
you
say.
go. Well, I maybe I don't know if I should be talking about this, and I probably should have done something about this, but apparently I filed for unemployment earlier this year, which I definitely never did. And our business manager called us and was like, asked Parker, did Hayden file for unemployment? No, I don't think so. And she was like, you may want to look into that. And I did. And then I guess I don't remember who I called. I guess the IRS. And they're like, no, you're good. And I was like, all right, I guess it's figured out. And I should probably follow up on that. Like, there's probably someone out there. I check all my stuff, and I have not had anyone get into any of my accounts or anything from what I can tell. But I feel like people talk about identity theft like it's just this far off thing. Like, what does that even mean? Is there a guy out there that has a driver's license like me?
It can happen.
I guess
Every
so.
once in a while, speaking of bots and stuff like that, we'll get like a DM to our account. And I remember it was like Christmas last year because I was going up to like a friend's house and I was in like a store just checking like through the DMs. And there was one that looked like it was from like Instagram. And it was like, oh, take action now
Oh,
or
yeah, I
your
remember that
account will
one.
be deleted. And at that point, I'd been working in social media for a month. Like it was my first month and I just didn't like even think like, oh, that's fake. So I was like texting Hayden like panicked. I was like, we're gonna get deleted. Like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen? Like,
No, I've had a million of those. So as far as what do you guys do? So we've got, let's see, we're recording this a few days before we're going to Colorado. So we're going to be in Colorado. Where at? Someone asked me the other day. I said, I don't know. 2 hours outside of Denver.
I don't know either, to be honest.
I don't even know what direction.
Buena Vista.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
all I
That's
know.
right. Okay.
Just hope it's colder than Texas.
Yes, they do have snow right now, so
Okay. Which is crazy because
excited.
we're having like astronomical, historical highs right now in Texas. The other day in Austin, it was 85, and the record for this date ever was 80. So we broke the record by 5 degrees for that day.
Warm Decembers
Crushed
used
it.
to ruin my day when I was a kid. I was like, I'm going to be so mad if it's like 78 degrees on Christmas again. And it just gets you out of the Christmas spirit. But honestly, now that I'm a little bit older, Tyler and I were working out this morning and it was like 68 at like 8 a.m. And I was like, honestly, I'm not mad about it.
Well, you also had nothing going on at 7 years old. You were letting a few degrees really change your day.
Yeah.
So then after Denver, we're flying back right after, or after Colorado, we're flying back right before Christmas. So you're heading back down to Uvalde.
I sure am. Yep, gonna see the family.
East Coast boy is headed to the East Coast.
I am.
You're not going with us to Colorado, are you?
No, I wish I was, but I'm heading out the same day y'all are.
Gotcha.
And yeah, just spending time with family.
You're doing the back and forth?
I don't know. I don't know how this works.
Is this wait? Yeah. By the way, does anybody? Well, I guess I'm the one in the longest relationship. Do y'all have any tips for our friend Parker for his first girlfriend's family Christmas?
I don't. You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah. Actually, why the hell am I asking you guys?
Does she have a big Christmas? Do they do like a big celebration or
Yeah.
anything like that?
With extended family.
So you're meeting
Yeah.
a lot of people for the first time.
Nah, I pretty much met most of them.
Oh, dang.
But Kurt, my college roommate, his original family's from Washington, and so he wouldn't want to fly all the way home for Christmas, and so he would he would for Christmas, I think, but for like Thanksgiving, Easter,
yeah.
he would just like bum at some like Texas guy's place, and so we used to joke that he was a professional new guy, and so he was like, dude, it's fine, like just like leave me in a room, like I'll be fine, like I'm just the new guy that like people kind of feel obligated to talk to, but like they don't really care. So Kurt's just like the CEO of like small talk and just sitting there and like being completely fine with it. So that's just kind of what I'm expecting. It'll be fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, especially whenever they just have all been together. We have a really big family on my dad's side, and at Thanksgiving there was a new boyfriend there of one of my cousins, and I have like 15 cousins, first cousins, and I felt so bad for this dude. He was just in the corner looking he looked like he was having an anxiety attack. And
yeah, you just have to embrace it.
man, it's just
Because the people there, like, it throws them off because it's like, who's this random guy? Like we're all family. We've known each other our entire lives. It's the most intimate day of the year, and it's just like this random dude is just like getting thrown into. Like,
you know what
"Hi."
you do? You go in there and you act like you're the man. Who, whenever someone's cooking or they're grilling or whatever, you go and tell them what they should be doing.
Yep.
You take
Got
the
it.
gifts. You take the gifts. You shake them. Shake your head. Pick up one. Look
Got
around.
it.
Nod your head. You'll make a lot of friends.
Walk
doing
around
that.
and shush people.
Yeah.
Put your finger on their lips.
Give a toast.
Yeah, give a toast. Find out who does the prayer, because usually whoever does the prayer has been doing it for 20 plus years, and you tell them that you want to do the prayer today. That always goes over
that
really
works.
well.
My
What-
personal favorite is if someone's if you're having like turkey or roast beef, if it's like the like dad or the grandpa of the family, you just have to say, "Oh, you're cutting it wrong."
Yeah,
That's not
Mm.
right.
yeah. Or you bring your own knife and make sure it's like a better knife than theirs, and so
Mm.
you carve it.
What kind of cookies are y'all leaving out for Santa? Let's go to. No one knows.
I don't know.
I just do the
I just don't-
Pillsbury usually.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the ones with like little shapes on them.
Mm.
That sounded like the starter kit of Christmas conversations that I was about to look up.
So,
Let's see
what kind of
kind of
cookies?
what kind of
2% milk, whole milk.
So before we got on this podcast, I Googled Christmas conversation starters, and surprisingly, there's a lot of stuff that showed up. I guess for probably people who are at Christmas parties or
With
friends,
their girlfriend's family for the
girlfriend's
first time.
family Christmas.
So many guys.
So what
By
kind
the
of
way,
cookies
yeah.
do you guys put out?
So many guys have nervously pulled up this webpage right here, like 20 minutes before going to visit girlfriends'
No,
families.
This is not good. It is not going to be actually useful.
Are there any that are useful?
Hold on, let me just kind of glance over.
They
this.
all
Give us
corny.
one.
Real quick, I have one last piece of advice for if you're at your girlfriend's like family Christmas for the first time. So, my first year, they do this whole
Your first year alive or your first year?
my first
a
year
girlfriend.
alive,
Year
both,
one.
both.
1 year old.
So whenever I went to my girlfriend's family Christmas for the first time, they do Christmas Eve like insane. They're like a big, like really close Italian family. And Italians have this tradition where they have like 7 fishes for dinner. And my advice would be just don't try something that's so new to you that you're going to gag
That
on
you
it.
embarrass yourself.
Because I got like not bullied, but very much pressured into trying a stuffed clam. And I just don't like stuffing in general.
Oh, you don't like clams?
I like clams now, but like at the time I had never had
Yeah,
a clam in my
right.
life, and I don't like stuffing. So it was just a recipe for
Yeah,
disaster. So
yeah.
don't
Could
try
you even-
something too new.
Could you get it down, or did
No.
you have to throw it up?
No.
Interesting.
Okay.
Parker, do you have anything for
Yeah.
us?
Still looking.
So imagine you're the mom of a girlfriend, and then I just walk up to you at the Christmas party. This new squirt is walking up to you. It's like, oh great, what does this kid want? And I just pull out one of these conversation starters. Here we go. First one is if you could be invisible for one day,
Oh.
what would you want to observe?
Okay, well let's go to the next one because that opens itself into.
Well, let's just keep it PG.
Okay. Okay.
What would you observe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think anything. That feels really creepy. I feel like I would just be in an invisibility cloak and then just get creeped out myself because of what I was doing.
What if you were a sniper?
Oh, I'd take. Oh wait, I was gonna say I'd go back and take out Hitler, but
You could get
I
some.
guess-
You could get some big bucks.
I don't have a time machine. No, because they can still smell you and they can still hear you.
Next question.
Yeah.
They can't see you though.
Do not ask your girlfriend's mom that question.
No, do it and let us know.
Actually, do that and let us know.
Comment
Film the
below.
reaction. Yeah. Comment below what she said.
Would you rather receive eggnog or fruitcake as a gift?
Eggnog.
Eggnog.
That's so easy.
I don't think I want either.
Not much of a fruitcake.
Did you look up Christmas icebreakers?
It's a Christmas conversation starter.
We will
Christmas.
fill
By the
this
way-
void with some more music.
Yeah, I was about to say I can't believe that you're still on
We're
hold.
going on 54 minutes. And the
They
estimated
said
time was 30 to
35
4.
45?
30 to 40. Yeah.
Okay.
What's crazy is I usually get so ticked off and then it gets to a point where like I just want to see how long this goes.
Exactly.
So
Here we go.
no way. Get her on, put her on.
Hi, this is Brian.
Hi, Brian. How can I help you?
Hi, I was just letting you know we are recording this conversation on our end for quality assurance. But I just had a question about changing a flight.
Sure. We have your
All right, had to take a quick detour for Brian to figure out his flight details.
Flight
I love
has changed. We're good to
flights
go.
are changed.
Yeah.
I love how you told her that you would be recording on your end for quality assurance.
Well, we were.
I can guarantee you she may have been doing that 30 years. She's never heard that.
Probably not.
There's no
I wonder if
chance.
there's something we could do, like the title of this podcast is bringing on a guest.
We did.
we
we
technically
technically
did.
brought
I
enough
don't know her
Denise.
name.
Wasn't it Denise?
No, I made that up.
Oh.
I don't know.
You want to know a little fun fact? Most states, and I don't know the exact number, but there's only a few states where, Texas being one of them, only one party in the group has to know that that recording is happening. So if Parker calls me into his office and I think I might get fired, I can whip out my phone, record it, put it in my pocket, and I can use that later if he ever says anything. But a lot of states, both parties have to know. So you have to tell them I am recording this. Texas is one of the only ones where you don't have to know.
Well, we did. So I guess we're in the clear for that.
So what were we talking about? We were talking about Christmas. Well, we were talking about Parker's awful icebreakers. Did you think of any while we were away?
Eggnog or fruitcake. Has anybody ever had fruitcake?
Nope.
I feel like people love to hate on it, but they've never even had it.
Yep.
Does anyone at home comment below if you've actually tried a good fruitcake? I think I actually have had one before, but it was terrible. But I feel like there are some good fruitcakes out there. They just get a bad rap.
You know what was great was the gingerbread cookie from Crumble Cookies.
Ooh. Do you guys have any family traditions that you've done for years that you still do? Brian, you got anything?
I wouldn't say it was a tradition, but it was because we didn't do it every year, but it was something I really enjoyed. It was going on a ski trip.
Oh, nice.
It was never really on Christmas either, but it usually around before or after. And those are just really strong memories that I feel like I'll have for a long time, and so definitely want to pass that on.
What about you, Ben?
Well, there's like a couple things in mind. I think like the biggest, most iconic thing, it wasn't, again, like every year, but my dad reading Polar Express, like the book, to me and my brothers.
Nice.
That's one that always sticks out.
Nice.
Good one.
Is he gonna do it this year?
I don't think so.
Do you sit on his lap?
I think I used to, but
You still could.
probably.
You and your brothers. All of y'all are big boys.
Big boys.
What about you, Park?
We don't have anything like any particular tradition. One of the things that we do is we'll just like, it's been difficult with the addition of Granger's kids, but what we used to do is like just be really intentional with the opening up of presents, to where it's like one person goes at a time and everybody watches that person open the gift, rather than, but with kids, you know, you don't want it to be turn into like something where you're like being cynical and it just like turns into like scolding them and having to wait. So it's like kind of a fine line between that. But like a lot like Home Alone, I was watching the other day, they're like, all right, everybody dig in, and then everybody just starts like ripping up wrapping paper, and I was like, but then you just like don't know, like I like to see who got who what and like some thought that was put into it
And see
but-
their reaction and everything.
Yeah.
My grandma does this thing where on my dad's side we stopped doing, well, the younger kids, because now they have great grandchildren now, because a lot of my cousins are starting to have kids, but that we've always done this thing, no matter how old you are, kids get gifts, but then adults, they do stockings, and the stockings are a really big deal. And like there's different levels of stockings. Some people do stockings and it's really all trinkets, and then sometimes people do stockings and it's like expensive stuff in there and like, you know, a lot of different stuff. But so they do it pretty big, but it never fails. And I don't know what, I need to find out and update the podcast listeners on this, but I don't know why. Maybe people at home do this. Since I can remember, and my dad said since he was a kid, they put walnuts in the stockings. Have y'all ever heard of that?
My mom, well,
I never have.
Santa did that for us.
Yeah.
Shoot. Disclaimer. We'll put a disclaimer at the starting point that that was a grandparents thing,
Yeah.
because you get some stockings and some gifts from people.
Santa only does stockings for like a certain age, I think.
Is there just like a cutoff, Brian?
Yeah.
There's
No, I
just
think
like
it's
a
kind
cutoff
of
at like
like
13 years old.
at
Well, no, it
Santa's
just depends on your
discretion.
belief.
Yeah.
Polar Express.
So.
This is a pro
The
Santa podcast. I want
Mhm.
to get that
believe
out
that
there.
you'll hear
We
the
are
bell.
not Santa
Yeah, you'll hear
deniers.
What'd you say?
We are not Santa deniers.
That's right.
Pro. Well, I'm not even denying or anything. I'm just saying this is a pro Santa podcast. We do
Mhm.
support Santa.
I used to get, I guess I still do. I think I did last year, is scratch offs in my stocking.
Yeah, I did the
And
same.
so those were
Yeah,
always
that's
fun.
not creating a great future though, because then you're just going to be gambling. By
Well,
the time
but
you're
I never
30.
won. So like I think the most I ever won was like $5. So it was never that interesting, I guess.
I won 25, so just let that be known, Brian. I'm better
25.
than you.
You got me.
What?
Your Santa's better than mine.
Someone in our family one time won like $500.
Mm.
It was a big deal.
That's awesome.
Did y'all? I didn't, but you know what's funny? We were watching. I've been watching Christmas movies here recently, and it's so funny. Like Christmas Vacation, I was noticing, which is not up for debate, is the all-time best Christmas movie. But have y'all ever noticed that, like all these Christmas movies, they're always just like having family over and drinking and stuff, and it's so different than the family that I grew up in, because we never had alcohol at any of our family get-togethers. But then I got older and realized that a lot of people, like, which I mean, which is no big deal. But a lot of people, like, they have family over, and that's how they bond. They, whether it's eggnog or whatever. But like Christmas Vacation, they're just drinking in every scene, whether it's wine or eggnog or whatever.
So speaking of Christmas Vacation, there's a house here in town that decorated like their whole yard and everything is like Christmas Vacation theme. They even have a cutout of the car and like a mannequin that is like dressed up like the dad, and yeah, y'all should go see it. I have the address. I'll give it to you.
That's actually cool. And so
cool.
like they advertise it and everything, everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll
What is
send-
y'all's favorite Christmas movie?
I grew up in the Elf era, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was comedy gold to my 6th grade
Yeah.
self.
What's your favorite part of Elf?
Ooh, that is a tough one. I love the snowball fight. Like halfway
It's a good one.
through, it was a good moment. Or whenever he says there's no singing in the North Pole.
Yes,
and
there
gets
is.
He gets in an argument. No, I take all that back. The best part of that movie is when Santa comes to the store and he says, "You're not Santa." He's all excited. And then
He's like,
realizes
"Who the
it's
heck
not."
are you?"
He's like, "Zip it, pal."
Cool it, Zippy.
Yeah, cool. Zip
You
it.
smell like cheese.
Yeah, you smell like you sit on a throne of lies.
Yes.
That is such a good movie. I was telling Parker the other night because we were at the house and it was just us and we were eating dinner, and I was telling him because I did this thing. I think we all are probably guilty of this, where like December 1st rolls around, and you're like, all right, Christmas. And you start playing a little Christmas music, then you kind of get off of it, and then it hits like a week before Christmas, and you're like, I only have 8 days, 7 days to enjoy this. So I just start knocking out Christmas movie after Christmas movie. I listen to all the classics, like all that different stuff. So we watched Elf, and I always feel like Elf is a little overrated just because of how big it's gotten in pop culture. But then I watched it and I'm like, man, this is a good movie, start to finish. Like the transition scenes are great. Just there's little bits and pieces that you don't pick up, especially when you're younger, that are so funny. That's just a great movie.
That's one of the best things about Christmas movies, I think, is that you like notice little things year after year that you just never noticed when you were little, or like you didn't notice it even the year before. It's just because you're watching it over and over again.
When can you start watching Christmas movies? I know
You can
it.
start watching Christmas movies the exact same time you can put up Christmas lights, the day after Thanksgiving.
Black Friday.
I do it the day, either Black Friday or the day after Black Friday, because I have a tradition of watching Mall Cop on Black Friday because it's a Black Friday movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get that.
I had a lot of questions,
funny.
but that is actually a very good movie. Kevin James is
That was
awful in
filmed
it.
at
but
the mall I went
that's right.
growing up to.
You told me that.
Also,
Yeah, Kevin James is terrible in that movie, but it's still kind of funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
What's
Most
your
underrated PG movie of all time?
is on 3. 1, 2, 3. Kicking and screaming.
Yep.
And Parker, we found out the other day. By the way, we just went on I guess that's a Will Ferrell movie, and so
Yeah.
is Elf.
did y'all watch that yet?
We've seen it a million times.
I've
I don't
never
think
seen
Parker's seen it.
We gotta
that
watch
was my
that.
7th birthday party.
7th.
We
Wow,
all
you're
went.
showing your
and-
age.
Yeah.
I think it's the best PG movie I've ever seen.
Was
Yeah.
what? It was just kicking and screaming themed.
No. We went to the movie theater. It was
Oh.
like me and my whole like 3rd grade.
Did y'all
class
dress
or
up in like
whatever.
soccer uniforms?
No.
Whenever
Oh.
Well, that reminds me, for like about that, I don't know how old I was, but whenever Shrek 2 came out, we all dressed up as Shrek and Donkey, and like I think I had one girlfriend, and so she dressed up as Fiona. Yeah, we all
Nice.
dressed up, and I was like a Shrek at the movie theater.
Nice. Well,
Shrek
what were you
and
gonna say
Fiona.
earlier? Sorry.
I don't remember, Brian.
That's all right.
Oh, do y'all do Christmas lights? Do y'all drive around? Because we always did that growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you been to any of the like drive-through Christmas displays, or like you can walk through some are drive-through?
Well, we were talking about this the other day because in Austin there's the big trail lights, which is great,
Yeah.
but it's really crowded. It's hard to park. It's just and Zilker Park's one of the best parks ever, but it's just a little much. And then I think you were telling me that they just moved it to
Yeah.
drive-through only when you used to be able to walk. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so I haven't been. Last year they started with COVID, and then this year they're doing the same thing. I still, and we'll have some Central Texas listeners that will agree with this, but I still think that the best Christmas light place to go to is Blora in Belton, Texas. It's right down the road from us. It's right down the road from where I grew up on the other side of Belton from Austin, but it's the best. And I think you pay by the carload. It's like 10, maybe $20 for a carload. You just pile in the family. We used to get our family and another family, like 4 and 4, 8 people total in like a Suburban, and just go, and it was the best. You'd just be in the back seat with your like best friend in 3rd grade, and it was just the coolest. They have the most insane lights ever. It's really cool. And
Did you ever get stuck in the middle seat doing that? 'Cause that
Do I look like a middle seat guy?
No.
That's me.
Yeah, Brian's always middle seat guy.
Because that was I was in the middle seat for one of those once, and you had people on the right side of the car being like, "Oh, look at that," and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then you had people looking at the left side of the car, and I'm like, and you couldn't see anything because it's like too low on the roof, and everyone's
yeah,
just
'cause
like
you have to
looking
do, like,
up at
this.
it. Yeah.
Well, you only had one brother. That's why you didn't have middle seat.
I thought you were talking about him. Yeah, you're right. I did only have one brother. I have one brother. All right, well, I think that's a good conversation. We talked a lot about Christmas stuff.
What are y'all asking for Christmas?
Ooh, that's a good one. Forgot about
New
that.
suitcase.
New suitcase.
Been doing a lot of traveling.
By the
lately.
way, this is not an ad, and I don't usually do free ads, but Away has the best suitcases.
I do not think it's going to be from there. I think it's already been got because I sent my letter
okay.
to Santa a while ago.
I got a really cool Wrangler suitcase the other day, and I love Wrangler, but it hasn't held up that well. I need an actual suitcase, like a big boy. Brian, what are you getting for Christmas?
I asked Santa for a new marketing director for our company, so we'll see if that comes through.
Your life would be a lot better if you had a better marketing director. What about you, Park?
I asked for, I don't know,
World
I
peace.
think underwear and socks or something.
Boo. No, you gotta do the trifecta. You also have to have a tie. The most boring dad underwear, socks, and a tie.
I actually asked for some new shoes.
What
Copy
kind?
yours. Hey dudes.
Man, everybody's
Jumping
on
on
Hey
the
Dudes.
train.
I got them in the office, and then everybody else followed me.
Jumping on the train.
Granted,
What are
I
you
was-
asking for?
You know, Ben, every year my Christmas list gets smaller because the things that are important you can't really buy. Earl
Funny.
Dibbles tweets that every single year,
If
and
only
so
you
I
meant
just used I just used what Earl Dibbles said. I didn't ask for anything. I told my parents. I don't know why my parents still get me gifts. I'm like a grown man, but
That's just parents.
yeah, and they won't let me get them anything. So I think this will come out afterwards, so I'm not spoiling anything. I think I'm just gonna cook them dinner one night. I'm like, well, I'll just cook you dinner if you don't want anything.
They want your presents.
Yeah,
Most important.
I don't want your presents.
They want quality time with you, Hayden.
You're right. My dad is going right after the first week of January. My dad is going with me on a fishing trip to Minnesota with some of our guys that are some of our top customers that we've gotten to be really close with.
It's Minnesota? Is that how you pronounce it?
Minnesota. Yeah, I can't say it like them. We're going up there to, is it Lake of the Woods or Red Lake? Whichever one is the walleye capital of the world. So I'm excited to catch some walleye. My dad's never been ice fishing. I've only been once, was last year with you, with this exact same group. So
I was there.
yeah, so I think we're gonna try to make a tradition out of it. So he's very excited for that. I got him the ice picks for your shoes the other day. Like you just strap them on your boots, and there's no way he's gonna know what they are. Like if I just hand them to him, because he's just Texas born and raised, never had to worry about that. And so I was like, I slipped so many times last year. I'm getting you these. He's not gonna know what they're for.
I
But
saw you slip.
You saw me slip multiple times as well. Yeah, alcohol may have been involved. Eggnog. All right, is that it?
All right, let's go home. Merry
Make sh-
Christmas.
Make sure you leave some milk. Wait, make sure you leave some beer and dip out for Earl Dibbles Jr.
We have a great episode next week, so come back. This isn't the last one.
Yeah. If you're next week, if you're not working that weird week in between Christmas and New Year's Eve, or if you are, we got you covered. It is a really good podcast. We sit down, it's the Smith brothers and myself, and we kind of talked about everything from 2021. So, all right, see you next year. Eat your veggies.